Okay, so if I show you this image, you must be thinking, ma'am must be showing us the picture of a beautiful red plant which has red leaves, red stem, and it looks like it has a branch, it looks like it has a leaf, it looks like it has a root. Well, let's see, is it? Let's see if what you are thinking in your mind, if it's true. Let's see if it really is a underground plant. What about here? Does it still look like a plant? Some of you will be doubting, no? You'll be saying, that doesn't look like a soil. It looks like something else. What if I show you another picture? Then I think now it will have lighted, no, in your mind. The idea must be clear in your mind what Miss is showing. So what I am showing you is different types of red algae. Okay. Members of the algae who belong to the family Rhodophyceae, okay, or red algae, okay. So in your syllabus, since I'm covering Lycopodium, Laginella and Polysiphonia, so one algae I'm taking, one life cycle of algae I'm taking. So the one that I'm taking is Polysiphonia, and Polysiphonia is a good genus for the example of red algae. Okay, so red algae, it belongs to, what is the name of the family? It is Rhodophyceae. So the example is Polysiphonia. So if you look here, just look at the image. It looks like a mini plant. No, it looks like a plant, doesn't it? It looks like a grass. It looks like some sort of a herb. No, it looks like leaves. It looks like stem, doesn't it? And one minute. Yeah, here it looks like it has so many branches and leaves, no? Well, not only does it have leaf, but it has structures which look like, one minute, I'm trying to get the brush. It has structures which looks like roots. Do you see this? Let me just highlight again this part, no? It looks like they have structures that have roots. Okay, so if we look at this red algae, one of the example is this. Now this upper part, you are seeing that it looks like this is a stem, and some branches are coming out, right? And then you can see it looks like roots. Okay, so most of these algae species, they have a thallus or a body structure which is multi-axial. Okay, means they have a prostrate system which is creeping on the ground like this, and then the roots, see those root-like structures are coming. That's a prostrate system. And they also have an erect system which is standing up. Okay, like in the images, no, this part is the erect system. Okay, so I think in your mind you must understand now, you must have the idea that why Miss, she said that it looks like a plant, because this algae, no, it's very unique. These species of red algae, no, they are very unique in that they have a prostrate, that is a creeping system, and an erect system which is standing up. Like in a plant, no, the roots, they are fixed in the soil, and the stem and leaves, they are in the air, no, they are facing upwards. So here also, obviously it's not in the air, it's in the water, no. Let me just say that red algae, you can find them both in fresh water and sea water. Means you'll find them in lakes and ponds also, and you'll find them in the ocean also. Okay, they are both fresh and sea water algae. or fresh and marine water algae. So they have these structures which help them to fix themselves in the substrate. Okay. Like in that other example, we saw that the substrate was a coral, wasn't it? Yes, this one, it's showing that this substrate is a coral. So it means it must have those creeping, what to say, the prostrate must be buried here somewhere. And here, this is the erect part. Okay. So, doesn't it look like a plant? It is not a plant, it is an algae. But for easy remembrance, if suppose you get in for exam, okay, as soon as you see that this algae, it looks like a plant, you should immediately know that, or it has to be belonging to the red algae family, that's Rhodophyceae. And because it has roots and stem, it looks like roots and stem, means it has a prostrate system and an erect system. It must be red algae, it must be Polysiphonia. Or if you just look at the color also, it's red, no. So it should belong to red algae. But red, the color red is not a complete indicator. Sometimes it can appear greenish depending on the light or depending on how old the specimen is. So you have to look at the prostrate and the erect system. Now in India, we have red algae. This is the species Polysiphonia elongata. We have red algae, and the others we have, you can read for yourself here those examples. Now these are other pictures of red algae. Okay. So it can appear this way also, where those what to say, erect system, they look flat like, or here they look like leaves. It appears leaf like. Okay. This is the same picture. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so if you see in the reproduction part, okay, if you see in the, suppose you do your practical, no, if you see in the microscope, if you see something that is round like this, like a teacup, okay, like a cup, like this, like a cup. If you see something like this, like a cup, it has to be the cystocarp that has, this is the cystocarp, means that cup-like structure, which contains spores, okay, known as carpospores. Okay, you can see these carpospores. And this cystocarp is the female part. Okay, this is the female organ of the Polysiphonia. Okay, this is just your introductory. I will go into detail in the next video as I keep explaining, as I keep uploading. So now if we have known what is the female, means the hint was just a cup-like structure like this, which has some spores inside. No, this is the female. Okay, now this one we know, we are clear with. Okay, these are again other images of the cystocarp. Okay, the female part, this is the cystocarp, and the cystocarp which bears the carpospores. Okay, so the entire thing, no, if I say the entire thing, the cystocarp containing all these spores, no, we'll call them as a carposporophyte. All right, so they will appear like this. They will appear like this. Okay, just like fruits. Okay, just like fruits, or like flowers. No, like a flower. No, the flower appears like this, then the leaf appear like this, right? So you just imagine that these are the fruits or the leaves. Okay, so they appear like that. Now let's go to the next. Okay, now this one, this is not the sex organ part, but this is another sort of asexual reproductive part, which we call as tetraspore. Okay, Don't worry if you are confused. We will go in detail. I'm just showing you what a tetraspore should look like. Okay. If you see something long like this, you should know that this is a tetraspore. Okay. Or for the body part, no, we say it is the tetrasporophyte. Okay. Plant body. Okay. Phyte. Tetrasporophyte. Okay. It's the plant body. And inside this long tetrasporophyte, we have inside this, okay, I'll remove this. We have inside, okay, inside we have tetraspores. Here is a tetraspore, here also tetraspore, this one also tetraspore, 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 tetraspore. Get it? This whole thing is the tetrasporophyte, okay, because it contains a tetraspore. All right. And then if we go to the previous, this whole thing is the carposporophyte, because all this, the placenta, the carpospore, the pericarp, the ostiole, this is all the part of the carposporophyte. Okay, so body we add phyte when we talk about the whole thing. Okay, now we know about the female part. Then we know about the asexual part. Now left is the male part to show you. Okay, here the male organs of the Polysiphonia is the antheridia. They appear something like this, like that. Okay, like fingers, like this, like that, like this. Okay, they are like fingers, and inside we will have antheridia. Okay, the male sperms and antheridia, no, the biflagellate anthers. Okay, these are the male gametes. Yes, the male gametes are inside. Okay, it's inside those finger-like projections. You will have the male gametes inside. All right. So, since we have a male organ, that is the antheridia, then we have a female organ, that is your carpospore, right? So, isn't it expected that the male anthers, one minute, okay, isn't it expected that, so can't we expect that the male antheridia should fuse with the female gamete, that is the ovum? The male antheridia should fuse, no? It should undergo fertilization. So when you have a male organ that produces antheridia and a female organ that produces the egg or the ovum, if fertilization can occur, means this is the N gamete plus N. This is our, let's say, male, this is the female. When they fuse and they form the zygote, that is 2N, this type of reproduction in algae, what do we call them? We will call it as oogamous type. Okay, I don't know if you can see. I'm just using my finger, that's why the writing is quite bad. I'm just drawing with my finger. So when there is a male and a female gamete that can fuse to form a zygote, that type of reproduction is the oogamous type. Okay, now you have done with Miss, no, the different types of sexual reproduction in algae. You have your anisogamous, then you have this, the one I'm telling you, oogamous, right? Then another one is there. I am not going to tell you, you have to revise. Okay, you have to revise so that you will refresh your mind. Okay, the types of reproduction found in algae. So you must be thinking, if there's a male and a female, so the type of reproduction we find in the Polysiphonia is of the oogamous type. Okay, so and then what about the other one I showed you, remember, the tetraspore? This one, it undergoes asexual reproduction, means directly from one of these spores, another Polysiphonia will just grow like that. So this one is the asexual reproductive part. Okay. So I hope that the introduction is clear. Let me just go, let's look at the slides once more. This is the male, that is the Antheridia. The male part of the Polysiphonia, they are the Antheridia, and inside we'll find the antherozoids. This is the asexual part, that is a tetrasporophyte which contains tetraspores. Then this one is the female part, that is the carposporophyte which contains carpospores. Okay, so it's clear, I think. And if we look at its, what did I tell you? If you talk about how the girl looks, if we look at the habit, we will see that there is an erect system and a prostrate system. Okay, so it appears, yes, the word which will summarize up erect and prostrate is over there. Point number 3, can you see it? This word, heterotrichous. Okay, I'm coloring it again. Heterotrichous. Okay, this word means that the plant body, okay, has an erect system and a prostrate system. Okay, so heterotrichous, you try to use the term, the heterotrichous term, you try to use that it has a heterotrichous habit. So I think the introduction is clear enough. So if I go in detail, I think you can understand. Okay.